Alright guys, here's all the trains that I gotten throughout this week here, so let's get started. There wasn't much rail units that came onto the ballot this week, but however I was able to get some. The first stop is at McCowan Road near Pine Orchard, mile 38.38 on the ballot stop. The first train I saw there was CNQ101, going from Brampton to Vancouver. It was burning as usual with 3187 in the lead with a really epic K5HL horn, and trailing second is 2996. And they were both pulling 154 rail cars. Not far behind 101 was CNQ105, going from Montreal to Vancouver. For once it was GEVO free power with one SD70M-2 and one BCRAIL C34-9W. Leading the train is 8912 with a really powerful P5 horn, and trailing second is BCRAIL 4648. This is actually my second time seeing 4648. The first time was at CREX almost 5 months ago when it was a DPU on M313. These two units were both pulling 137 rail cars. And I actually gotten told about this train was heading my way. That's why I went there to see it. Now it's time for some unplanned trains that I saw around the Mount Albert area. The first one was CNX 451, going from Trotter to North Bay, but it is an actual one. It was led by 5657. Trailing second is 2554. And trailing third is 3138. A GP9RM switcher. An interesting fact about 3138 is, it was actually in a movie. It was in the 1997 movie called The Wrong Guy, starring Dave Foley. This locomotive is in the same paint scheme when it was in the movie. It's really nice how the locomotive is the same when it was in the movie back then. Anyway, these 3 units were pulling 94 freight cars. And the engineer actually did a K3 turn show. It wasn't for me, however. There was a stupid trespasser that was crossing the tracks in front of the train. The engineer saw the guy after crossing Princess Street, so he blasted the K3 turn to get him out of the way. But I have a feeling he was reported. I said this once, and I will say it again. Never trespass on railroad property. You may get hurt or killed if you trespass. And I see a lot of trespassers going across the tracks right here, so I have a feeling they need to do something about it. You see that? Never trespass on the rail line. Otherwise you will get caught. I'm sure he will get reported in right now by RTC. Wow, that was just ridiculous. Well, at least it had a rail unit as well, trailing third, but oh well. Anyways, let's move on. The next unplanned train that I saw is CNQ101 once again. This time it had 3140 in the lead with a really powerful K5HL horn, and trailing second is 3251. These 2 units were pulling 156 rail cars. The next and final unplanned train that I saw was CNQ102, going from Rubberbanks, BC to Brampton. 2959 was leading it with a not bad K5HR horn, and trailing second is 2954. These two units were pulling 92 rail cars. A few days later, I got word about 2 rail units were heading my way. It came at the right timing because there was a beautiful sunset in the background. The train I saw was CN M313, going from Toronto to Winnipeg. I must say it has an interesting lash up. It was led by 2502, another rare C34-9WL, but this time it has a really rare K3LB horn, which sounded really nice. Trailing second is 2538, a regular -9. There was an CREX GEVO trailing third, and that is 3982. And trailing fourth is 5329, a SD40-2W. This is actually my third time seeing 2538, but for both times I saw it was on the same train. The first time was at Ressor Road, and the second time was at Queensville Side Road last weekend when it was the rear DPU on G878. These 4 units were pulling 103 freight cars, and it was going to have a meet with CNQ106 at Ressor, which I didn't bother on seeing due to it being dark out. The next stop is at Davis Drive, just before the Newmarket GO station. Mile 34.16 on the Newmarket stop, and I got a northbound GO train going from Trotter to Barrie. It was led by cab car 363 with a really great sounding horn. And pushing it is MP40 locomotive 613, and it had 10 passenger cars. Now here's yet another unplanned train that I saw yesterday. It is CN M314, going from Winnipeg to Toronto. I have no idea this was coming. And I didn't know that a C34-9WL was on this train again. And even though it was trailing second, I still really wish it would lead. Leading the train is 2973 with a great sounding K5HL horn. Trailing second is 3500, the class leader of a C44-9WLs. And trailing third is 3541. Yesterday's 314 has 101 freight cars, and it was mostly grain. Now get ready for a second trespasser in this video. Why am I seeing a lot of trespassers here? I have no idea. Now for the main railfan trip of the week. This week, we went to the CP's Reesor Road crossing, mile 193.54 on the Belleville sub. We were planning on seeing a CPCWR train, but unfortunately the plan didn't go out so well. I will tell you why in a bit, but for now I got some CP trains for you. The first one I saw was CP 113, going from Montreal to Coquitlam, BC. It was led by two GEVOs, 8938 with a really epic K5HL horn, and trailing second is 9715. For the DPU is 9715, an AC3400 CW. 113 has 194 rail cars. And I wasn't alone for this train. Crypto Transit was there as well. Just then, train boy 647 and that North York railfan showed up. But however, they showed up minutes after 113 went by, so they missed it. Not long later, we saw CNE 271 in the distance. It is an all-direct train going from Montreal to Flat Rock, Michigan. It was led by 3077 and 2239, and they were both pulling 94 all-direct cars.
Okay, so you know what? I think I'm gonna have one stop go ahead of you guys, and you can follow him into that yard, I guess, to trade off at Snyder. But yeah, so after 112, you'll get license to follow. After 112, we'll get license to follow 112 to trade off at Snyder West. Okay, and go down. Overlook 134. Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay, I see your train read now. You got 2 cars missing. I'll send you a new journal right away. CN detector, York, 7. No alarms. Temperature 22C. Total axle 394. Speed 36.
Not long later, Hames Jeff showed up, and after a while of waiting, along came CN said 149, going from Montreal to Brampton. It was led by 3177 and 8103, and they were both pulling 200 rail cars. 8103 is an ST70 ACE. CN only has 4 of them, 8100 to 8103. Hopefully I can see another one soon, but up close and leading. Oh, the gate's down. After 149 cleared for crossing, the defect detector went off. This is what it said.
CN detector, York, 7. No alarms. Temperature 23C. Total axles 561. Speed 15.
Not long later, the signal went up for a eastbound train, and that is for CP112, going from Port Coquitlam, BC to Montreal. It was led by 8765, which is a GEVO with a really epic first-gen K5HL horn. Trailing second is 8624, which is an AC4400 CW. And for the DPU is 8024, an AC4400 CWM. 112 has 174 cars. The first 30 cars are mixed, but the rest of the 134 are some rail cars.
When is that other one? Now you just have to hope the CWR gets line.
Not long later, a Goodyear Blimp flew by us. And at the same time, the Yorkshire crossing activated for CN M306, going from Trotter to Moncton, New Brunswick. It had two 100-year anniversary GEVOs, 3232, and there was one for a DPU. I should have filmed the whole train because there was something interesting on this train. I will tell you after the locomotives go by. 100-year anniversary unit. So that looks like M306. While I was not recording, a military tank snuck up on us. So looks like that's M306. But thankfully, another Railfanner named Electroshock decided to send this video to me. That way I can use it. So credit goes to him. No wonder I couldn't see it. It was only one military tank.
Temperature 21C, total axle 562, speed 28.
Not far behind 306, CN L516 came along.
And CWR. Oh, I know that's car frames.
It is a logo that goes from Trotter to Belleville. There was an ST70I leading the train solo, and that is 5603. It was pulling 44 freight cars by itself. Hi.
CN detector, York 7. No alarms. Temperature 20C. Total axle 182. Speed 35.
We were hoping to see the CWR soon, but however that didn't happen. The train tied down at Ancient Courtyard, and it was planning on leaving the next morning. So because of that, we couldn't see it unfortunately, but I'm still happy of what I gotten throughout this week. I got some really epic trains. Until my next Railfanning video, I will see you guys later. Peace out, folks. Hey, please remember to subscribe to my channel and the following YouTubers that were with me in this video. The links will be in the description. Well, as usual, I really hope you enjoyed this epic video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And that will be it as usual.